saltwater course, 2.5 miles in oval shape. In fact, it's the fastest race course the Unlimiteds ever race on because of what, Sam?
Well, Jim, it's a 2.5-mile saltwater race course, which means more buoyancy to the hydroplanes. Additionally, the bottom is all sand, the beaches are sand, the waves tend to dissipate instead of rock things. And it's all amplified by the fact that our field here today qualified at an average speed of well over 124 miles an hour. Jim, it's the fastest field in hydroplane history. The top 6 boats averaging nearly 133 miles an hour. That's never happened in boat racing before.
And Sam, actually, this is the final race, the tune-up, before the big Budweiser World Cup coming up with, and I understand we've got people coming from other parts of the country.
We sure do, Jim.
And the world.
We sure do, Jim. Italian entries, we have Australian entries. The race here today, very unique. Tom DeEath returns to the Squire Shop hydroplane. Last year, he won 2 races. This year, he's back after 9. He's going to be out there. Jack Schaefer Jr., 4 winners and 4 races here today. Could we have a 5th winner, or who knows who's going to be the first boat to repeat?
We've got lots of action coming up on ESPN, so stay tuned. We'll be right back. Hendrick along with Sam Cole here at Mission Bay in San Diego, California, where the hot dogs, or we say the top 6 boats with the fastest times in qualifying, are making their first appearance of the day. We had the lower flight of 5 make their appearance, Sam, earlier. And how were the finals in that one?
The winner there was Ron Armstrong in the specialty leasing. He received 200 points. Second place in that, he went to the Executone, George Johnson, with 150. And in third, it was the La Jolla Plumbing and Jerry Hopp with 113 points.
And we had a did not finish for another rookie, Miss Houston.
Yes, John Prevost and Miss Houston, owned by Tom Wright, and the Rick Gunite out of Houston, Texas also.
Now bring us the starting lineup of the 5, or that make it the 6 fastest boats.
Yes, I will, Jim. This is the fastest field of hydroplanes ever assembled. We have the Atlas Van Lines, Chip Hanauer, the driver, owned by Fran Muncy, the crew chief, Jim Harvey. The Miss Budweiser, driven by Jim Kropfeld, owned by Bernie Little, his crew chief, Dave Cully. The Squire Shop, driven by Tom Deep, owned by Bob Stile, crew chief, Jerry Zubich. The American Speedy Printing, Jack Schaefer Jr. at the helm, owned by R.B. Bob Taylor out of Houston, Texas, the crew chief, Jerry Stiles. The Miss Renault U3, Milner Irvin, owned by Jerry Shannon, the crew chief, Jim Kurt. And the Frank Kenny Toyota, driven by Ron Snyder, owned by the city of Madison, Indiana, the crew chief, Lamar Good. We're 15 seconds away from the start of this opening heat of action.
And it looks like Miss Budweiser wants lane 1. The Atlas Van Lines lane 2. American Speedy Printing is lane 3. Now let's see. As they come up here, the rest of the boats will fill out the field. They're going to be very close. 2 seconds. 1 second. Budweiser on top. Followed by American Speedy Printing. Oh, they were all up in there. Budweiser was the first to cross the line on the inside. And there's American Speedy Printing, and then the Renault. Up on there where we couldn't see with the rooster tail was the Atlas Van Lines, and also the Frank Kenny Toyota. Sam.
As they go through there, Jim Kropfeld brings Bernie Little's Miss Budweiser out on top. He hangs it around turn 4 and takes it down the backstretch. Second place, American Speedy Printing, Squire Shop, and the Miss Renault all bunched up right in there together. Milner Irvin and the Miss Renault in second, but here comes Chip Hanauer of the Atlas.
He's going to try to drag him down that back chute in slot number 2, and he's doing it right now. It is the Atlas Van Lines by about a boat length and a half as they go down to the north turn, which is corners number 3 and 4. Hanging down the hook, the first one that'll do so as the rooster tail starts to rise at the Atlas Van Lines. Here is Kropfeld and the Budweiser on the inside, the shorter way around the course, and let's see how they fare as they come around the complete lap number 1. Budweiser getting a little rough right on the inside. It's going to be Atlas on the track, comes out first place, comes down here now, complete lap number 1. Atlas in first by about a second and a half over the Budweiser. There's the Atlas. Third place is the Renault. Fourth is the American Speedy Printing. Fifth place is your Squire Shop. There's your 5th place boat right there.
Jim, I was totally fooled at that start. I did not see Chip Hanauer. He was on the outside of Jim Kropfeld. His first lap speed, 130.4 miles an hour. They've got everything wired up in that Atlas Van Lines. A lot of engine problems this week, carburation problems here in San Diego, but right now, the blue and white Atlas Van Lines has got about a 9 or a 10-second lead on Mr. Kropfeld in the Budweiser.
All right, we've got a problem down in corner number 3. We've got the Frank Kenny Toyota boat is down, and it looks like it's going to be another problem in there for American Speedy Printing. He's going down, so here's the way they stand. Right now, there's your Frank Kenny Toyota going dead in the water. Our first place boat coming off of corner number 4 is the Atlas Van Line. Second to the Budweiser. Third to Renault. Square Shop is fourth. American Speedy Printing is now picked up in 5th place and is running again. As they come down, here's our leader, the complete lap number 2, Chip Hanauer, Atlas Van Line.
And as he does, 129.5 miles an hour.
Here's our third place boat, the Renault, with Milner Irvin. The Renault currently riding in third. He completes lap number 2. Pops a little engine as he goes. We pick up our leader coming off of corner number 2 once again with about a 9-second lead over Jim Klopfeld and the Miss Budweiser. Our leader comes down now. He's about halfway through this heat. For the fast flight boats, he's going to have to keep it right here in the engine now. There's the American Speedy Printing diving down to corner number 1. Our second place boat is this one right here, Miss Budweiser. He's halfway down the back chute of lap number 3.
There you see our leader, Jim, Chip Hanauer, and the Atlas Van Lines bringing it through. As I said earlier, they had a lot of trouble this week. Carburetors were giving them fits. Yesterday afternoon, in a late test run, the boat lost still another engine, the 4th engine this week. But right now, Jim Harvey, Jim Lucero, the crew of that boat, worked all night long, and it looks like they've got everything dialed back in.
That is the completion of lap number 3 for your first place boat, the Atlas Van Lines, and I believe right about how Jim Klopfeld in this Budweiser riding second right here. He's thinking, okay, I'll sit on it. I've got to finish and pick up 300 points. Here's the third place boat, the Renault, with Milner Irvin from Coral Gables, Florida. Jerry Sheen, the owner, out of Detroit, Michigan. Fourth place boat, Frank Kenny Toyota, is now running again. He got it going again. He was down in the water, but he's got it started, and he's back on in the race. Looking for the American Speedy Printing. Where do you see him, Sam?
He's coming down the front straightaway here. Here's Jack Schaefer. You know, he slowed down. He might have overloaded it. These boats have nitrous oxide systems, and the drivers push a button on the steering wheel, which injects an additional 300 to 400 horsepower at the push of the button. A lot of times, if you push on that button too long, you overload the engine, and that might have been what caused the American Speedy to go down over there. Hanauer's lap 3 speed, 133.136 miles an hour. We're setting records here on Mission Bay, the fastest course in unlimited hydroplane racing.
And Tommy Deep is down. His boat is not running. He's out of this race so far. Here comes the leader. Atlas Van Lines with 1 more lap to go as he takes the green flag. Tommy DeHeat in the square shop, down and out of this race. I cannot find him on the course, Sam. Here's our second place boat, this Budweiser, Jim Klopfeld. And the way they get the points, it's the 400 points. There's the green flag. That shows these drivers they have 1 more lap to go. Whoa! The Renault just did a little flying job right by us. He really got up high his nose. That's him right now. He's settled back down now as he's got the green flag. Frank Kenny Toyota just going by us, and he's currently in 4th place. 5th place is the American Speedy Printing, and nowhere to be found. He probably returned to the pit area would be the square shop with Tommy Deeds.
Yes, it is, Jim. By the way, as Chip Hanauer brings it around here to win his heat of racing, what do you think the strategy is in the Budweiser camp? Hanauer has made this heat look very, very easy, something we haven't seen in quite a while. His speed there, 126.404. Is the Budweiser conserving equipment, Jim?
I would think at this time they would. After they get that big jump and couldn't catch him, there's no sense of breaking anything. He'll pick up 300 points and get close to qualifying for the final. So, our winner with the checker flag right here, the checker flag for Atlas Van Lines, he'll take 400 points. And that goes towards the National High Point Championship. While the second place boat coming in right now, Jim Klopfeld picks up 300 points. It's very little Budweiser, and that knocks him with about a 575-point lead now for National High Points as he lost 100 there. Here's the Miss Renault, 3rd place. Our leader is just cooling off. Our leader is going down toward the pits as being victorious. And Sam, the final order finish, if you will.
Our winner, the Atlas Van Lines, Chip Hanauer. He'll receive 400 points. Second place, the Miss Budweiser, Jim Klopfeld, 300 points. And third, the Miss Renault and Milner Irvin, 225. Fourth place will go to the American Speedy Printing Special, Jack Schaefer Jr., 169. And in fifth, it'll be the Frank Kenny Toyota receiving 127 points. The Squire Shop and Tom DeHeat did not finish.
We'll be back with more action from San Diego, Mission Bay, San Diego, California, on ESPN in just a moment.